Hello everybody and welcome to AFR's Tier 2 race at Suzuka. My name is Bandcamp and joining me tonight is Jacob Meister.
Lovely to be here and just updating on the Drivers' Championship currently. So after Russia last week, which Red Panda won, and both Red Bulls got taken out, who are currently 1 and 2 in the champs, Matt does take the lead in the points once again on 235. Ali's on 231, 4 points behind. And you have to go back another 40 points to Red Panda in third place. So a lot of ground has been made up by Red Panda, Skins and Big Al all sort of around the same place in third. And I'm just hearing some cars running up now, so everybody's getting up for qualifying. Just get set up here.
So Ali is the first one to make it out on track. I've just been playing around with the audio, so just let us know in the comments if everything is sounding okay.
Just checking the stream. Looks like the screen, the resolution.
Oh yeah, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cheers,
wow.
Lights. Thanks for the info. No big deal. Everyone's still on their outlets. Not really missing anything.
Please bear with me.
All good here. Just caught one of the Williams just pulling over on Dunlop curve. Looks like he spun out, but no big deal. Everyone's still on their outlaps. Just do bear with us for a moment. So, pretty overcast here today at Suzuka. Not sure if it'll stay dry or not. Ali, the first of the cars, is just coming down to the back straight now. Still a bit of time before he starts his lap.
Is that right? I think it's still a bit off.
Oh, that's close. A bit off on the left though.
Yeah.
Just can't see positions there at all as Ali does come around onto the front straight. Bit of radio Jacob right now just while we get things sorted out, but Ali coming into the first curve now, turns 1 and 2, but still called the first curve is your useless factor today. It's looking pretty tidy through the yeses, very easy to get the car unsettled. Everybody else coming down to start their flying laps as well. You can pretty comfortably fit 3 runs on the soft tyre here. Most people will be looking to start on that soft compound. Just saw a Haas, that's CK80, who's just spun around on the S's. Looks like we are all good on the stream, so get a look at Ali.
Sorry about that, I'm having to lean over and look at my other monitor. So it's a little bit difficult because I'm also sitting in my racing seat, so a little bit awkward, yeah. But we got there.
Williams out, and that's on the S's.
Oh, yes, we do.
It's a shame.
Yeah, you can see him there in the wall as we were just on board with combat. So we'll just stay on board with combat as he's on a lap on the medium tyre.
It's that Williams' first race since Germany, so not race. Ali comes across to the 28.6. We benchmark there, decent lap. Let's see, looks for 31 flat. Big Al on the mediums of a 29.1. That's pretty good. Money's on Big Al to take pole.
I don't know.
It's pretty hard to call, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a very tight title fight, that's for sure. And Red Panda goes quickest with a 128.4.
Flag. 29 flat.
It's just someone letting someone through.
Yep. It can get messy around this last chicane. People starting their laps and just slowing down to get everything sorted, their fuel mix and your ARS. But combat we're coming across now for 30.2. That's for 6th place right now.
Not bad at all.
Surplus crossing the line for 30.7 as well. And Hobbsy for 30.3.
We've dropped down to CK80 now. Let's see what kind of time he can do on the medium tyre.
And just a quick shout out to CK because he's been constantly getting some decent points finishes and he actually got his best finish last week in 8th place, so good stuff for him.
Also, to anyone watching, if you're watching the Tier 1 stream, apologies for it cutting out as Kunai's internet dropped out, so unfortunately wasn't able to get back in and continue the stream. But, you know, that's Australian internet for you.
It's a weird one. The network actually went down in his area. There was literally nothing you could do about it, which is a bit of a shame.
CK80 now about to cross the line. What time can he do? 1:31.0. We'll drop down with Matt, who's on an outlap at the moment in the Red Bull team, one of the strong performing teams.
And if Red Panda gets pole, Ban has to give me his race seats. I've got to read who that is. Oh, I haven't got my glasses on. Captain Crap.
No. To be honest, I really don't know who's going to get pole around here.
There are 5 drivers who have won on multiple occasions in this tier, and they're all pretty similar in pace, and that's not even including Sindogger, who's shown really good pace since coming in as well. So it could be anyone's, really.
I believe Big Al's going to have some good race pace, as I did do a practice race with him during the week. But, you know, where that is relative to the others, I'm not too sure.
This man here, Matt, he was talking about doing 27s just before starting here a couple of hours ago. So
that's some big talk.
We'll see what he can produce anyway as he comes across the front straight now. DRS open, starters flying lap. Working hard as late as possible there into the first curve. Down onto third. Very easy to lose a bit of time there, but it was okay. Easy to go up at 2 deep. He stays in fifth, coming into the S's, and that's skins on the track there.
Yeah, very awkward place to be.
The one you want to be in. Coming through Dunlop now, looking pretty good so far. And Dig, and I don't want to take too much curb here. It's pretty good. He's unsettled the car, and if you go too wide, then you do invalidate. He's kept it pretty good. Down to the hairpin. One of my favourite corners in general, to be honest, in this game. Looking good. Coming for 200R. I'm not too sure what time this will give, but it's looking like a very good lap so far as he comes out of spoon. Should be getting close to 320 kilometers per hour, or 315 I should say. This close to 315, I know that. Now to the last chicane. Can take a fair bit of curb here, and he does. Get as good an exit as possible. That looked pretty clean, hit that bump on the way out.
Up to him as he is on a hot lap at the moment.
Favourite corner on F1 is the final bank turn in Zandvoort. Yeah, that track is looking really good. I'm pretty hyped for 2020 to be honest.
So Red Panda currently 2/10 up. Well, I mean, it looks like a fun track to drive, but I'm not optimistic about the overtaking opportunities, but you never know.
It's very narrow, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's lots of turns, you know.
Yeah, Gus echoing the remarks there.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to plan out, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Could be a fun one to drive.
Red Panda has a bit of moment exiting that corner. Spoon.
Yeah. Spoon curve. Coming into sector 2, he is up just barely. Into the Casio Triangle. There we go, I remember the name of that. A little bit of a throttle blip there as he exited, but we'll see what he gets. It's a 28.3.
Just improved, so lost a bit of time there, but still improved. Ali about to cross the line. coming into the final chicane. He's already run out of deployment, so... But he goes fastest. 128.1. Not bad at all.
There was a Renault that just crossed. That was $7 for 128.8 as well.
Skins is coming into the pit. How about Hobbsy? Hobbsy's currently on a lap. He's almost 4 tenths up.
He's one of the newer drivers. Got his first points finish last week. It's not as strong as his teammate, it seems, but still has good pace. Still can definitely fight here. Interesting to see how he goes for the rest of the season as he comes through 130R. Coming across the line, and that is a 29.1. That's good for 7th currently, just behind Big Al.
And we'll just drop down to Psycho, who's on the lap going through the hairpin. Oh, and oh no! Oh no! What have I done?
I think we can collectively blame Ben for that accident now. But that is awful. At least he had a lap set, but still. And everybody will be careful to avoid him, and they have. Oh dear.
Oh, we'll drop down to Zudix, shall we?
Who hasn't crashed. Good.
Currently on a lap.
He took a lot of curb for the first part of the triangle.
He's coming into the pits.
He nearly did the same. Oh dear.
And I believe
Had me worried for a second.
Yeah, CK's just completed his lap, so let's just have a look. Oh, what? No, that's not the right one. Although that is a worthy highlight replay.
Only professionals here. 5 minutes to go in the qualifying session for Suzuka. Ali's still on top right now. Everybody getting ready for their last runs.
Let's go up to Matt, shall we?
Just starting a lap. You can very easily break a bit too deep going into the first curve and just lose a bit of time. Another thing, there's Big Al.
Big Al, 128.1.
It's 100th ahead of Ali. Told you it was going to be close, and it has been. ERS management's also pretty important this lap as well. It's not... It never feels quite right. You have to go down into lower modes quite often around this lap, so... Interesting to see how people manage it, because you do run out pretty early towards the end. And you don't want to be running out when you've got to be hard on the throttle down towards the start-finish line. And that's making good time here through 200R. Spa and Rain Classic F1, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is a saved clip actually, I believe. So feel free to check that out. It is very, very amusing.
Matt's just slightly down.
Yeah.
He has backed out. He has backed out.
Yeah, he has.
Does he stay on those tyres? He can come in if he's got another stick of soft available to him.
I've just dropped down to Skins, who's almost half a second up.
Well, that'll put him right up by Red Panda and Matt currently. Skins, one of the drivers in the battle for third place in the championship. There's a good 5 drivers that are still technically in contention. There's a good 3 of them that are still technically able to get the win from here, but highly improbable. Prove me wrong though, as Skins gets across for 128.1 as well. Look at that.
Oof.
Look at that gap. That's beautiful.
Not bad at all.
Splitting the two alleys by 5 thousandths each. Wow.
Drop down to Saxa, who's currently on an outlap.
He's just recently cracked 100 points in the championship as well. I believe he's down in 8th. He's done pretty good in Tier 2, though. He's had a couple of podiums early on in the season, but pretty consistent points finishes for the most part. He's been doing good for Ferrari, for the constructors and the combined constructors.
Yep. But I believe Red Bull may have the title, the constructors' title.
Ooh, with Panda for 128.1.
Wowee.
Wow. And he's happy with that. Red Bull are way ahead for Tier 2 anyway, but I don't think they mathematically have it yet.
I think they can get it at the end of this race, but I'm not sure. So,
very possible,
yeah. So Saxa starting his lap now.
Ooh, tiny lock up there, I think. Or just a bit of squeal, I don't know. And these S's, they're very annoying to drive if you don't drive this track very often.
It's very much a flowing circuit, because if you get a little bit out of shape through that section, you're just going to lose a lot of time. You really need to keep your momentum.
And just very quickly, current standing, somebody asking, Matt Cadabri on 245, Ali on 231, Red Panda on 190. We have Skins on 187 and Big L on 185. Those are your 5 relevant drivers right now, all within contention for the championship. So it's the 2 Red Bulls, Skins in the Racing Point, Big L in the Toro Rosso, and I'm missing Red Panda in the Ferrari. As Saxa comes down the back straight now, is he improving?
It's 4 tenths up.
It's not going to give him too much, but
it will move him up the field.
Does he want to move up in the field? He's in 11th.
Into 10th, so he lost a bit of time there, I think, maybe?
He was on pace, no.
Yeah.
Keeper retiring as well, happy with 12th. We're just not able to get another lap in. Bunch of people still on laps. That's a Red Bull, it's Ali coming down the back straight.
I've just jumped on with Sim Dogger. Haven't shown him in qualifying. So.
Oh, and Alan bests it.
Oh, another 28-1. That's 4 drivers, 28-1.
All 4 drivers within basically 400s of each other. Told you it was going to be close, and it has been, but there's still people to finish their laps. Matt's 2 tenths up in the first sector. Simdog is up 4 tenths? 7 tenths, wow! He's on for a 28-1 as well. This is going to be insane, guys. Simdog crossing the line now. This is going to be a very good lap. 28.
Oh, pole is the first one into the 28-0s. Wow. What a lap.
Tires. Matt, I don't think he's on pace. I think he made a mistake. It's 28-3.
Did improve, but didn't really gain anything out of it. CK80 is down by 4 tenths.
And Combat's backed out. Or I think he's spun even.
And I believe that concludes qualifying.
And what a lap from Simdogger there. I said it was going to be close, and he just takes it by 10.
He does indeed.
Just waiting for everyone. I think Combo Red's here to retire, but
in the Racing Point, soon to be Aston Martin.
true.
So, so Sim Dogger taking pole there by a 10th over Ali. followed by Red Panda and Big Al. And we have Skins, Matt, Hobbsy, CK80 in 8th, so not bad for him, and Psycho in 9th as well. Saxa rounding out the top 10. Combat in prime position in 11th, followed by Keeper, Zudix, Surplus, Farmadingo, and Kuldino. So Combat as well on the medium tyre, so I'm guessing he'll probably start on fresh mediums, maybe?
Yeah, it seems to have been what the Racing Points have done most of the season, is keep their strategies very much separate, and you haven't seen much crossover from them in general. Just trying to avoid each other going into the pits, make sure they don't hold each other up or double stack or anything.
No, Farmadingo.
He was disconnected. Has he joined back? No. And I don't know if this is going to trigger a restart, because this does happen sometimes. I believe every driver gets, what, 1 restart, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe 2.
Either way, he will be entitled to it if so, but it just depends on what they do. And while we wait, just have to wait and see if they go ahead or not. If not, it shouldn't take too long to remake the lobby. Renault OP. Those two, Hobbsy and Simdog, they're a dynamic duo, those two. And Simdog has shown a lot of pace. I might just drop down and see what's happening, actually.
Yeah, no worries. So, while we're waiting to find out what's going on, if you're enjoying what you're watching, please hit that follow button, as that really helps us out. If you're thinking about getting into sim racing, hit the Fanatec link below. Check out some of their gear. I've got Fanatec stuff myself, and I think it's pretty good. Expecting some turn 1 carnage. Well, yes, possibly. I wouldn't be surprised. It's a very interesting corner. I myself got wing damage turn 1, which was unfortunate, but that's how it goes sometimes. How'd you go? Are they going ahead, or? Oh, Zudix has left the session. I think we are restarting. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, please bear with me. I will be back. Hello, sorry about that, and welcome back. We have set up the grid. We've got all the drivers in the lobby, and we are getting ready to go racing. I'm not sure if Jacob Meister is here or not, but I cannot hear him. It may be me if I cannot hear him. Well, while we're waiting, I'll just restart my Discord. Oh. So 1 moment, please. Alright, we have audio back.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Phew. I was just going to restart otherwise. Okay. Still formation.
Yeah, what a comedy of errors we have tonight.
Well, plus side, race hasn't started yet, just the formation lap.
Hopefully that's all we get.
Tell you, we've had worse nights, to be fair.
We have. I mean, we've had races that didn't even go ahead before.
So anyway, all the wear has been reset. The top 10 drivers would normally start on warm and softs, the seat they qualified with, but now they're starting on fresh sets because it's a new lobby. We just don't have any choice in that. So the top 10 all starting on soft tyres. Combi Rate and Keeper on the mediums, the rest are on soft tyres. And we are gridding up to get ready for this race.
Last few cars pulling into position now. So 5 red lights. They go out. And we are racing now.
Saxon with a massive start. Keeper falling way back. Looking relatively clean. I see a racing put on the outside of a Ferrari. No change there though. Well, it looks pretty civil so far coming into the S's. So good stuff. Oh, that's a surplus. That's surplus. He's spun around on the S's.
Oh dear.
The Williams up from 16th to 14th. Matt is up into 3rd. Skins from Matt to 6th. made up 3 places from the start, and no real instance to really note apart from Surplus dropping back there, not too sure why. Seemed like it. Retaining the lead, Ali staying right on him though. Very important to stay with her. You're battling it. Can be difficult to make time up sometimes, especially with DRS trains, but only one DRS section around here, so get caught in the battle, it's easy to catch up for those behind you.
Yeah, Farmer Dingo starting to fall back a little bit. Don't know if he's got any wing damage.
Oh, give me a good camera angle, come on. No, he doesn't.
Well, that's good. That's something he's been wanting to avoid in the opening lap as the Renault and the Ferrari are side by side into turn 1. The Ferrari just hanging on.
Renault giving way to Sexa there, who goes wide. Hang on, this isn't over. Ooh. And I think Renault will finally concede there. That could have been a bit nasty. And this will bring CK80 right up to them, so there you go. Some battles can get a bit dicey around here and people can catch up with it easily because of it. Surplus coming in presumably for a front wing change. Yeah, looks like it. Big Al up into 4th, broke very late on Red Panda. Get touched, I don't see any damage on Red Panda though. And that's leaving Big Al run over the skins. The field's still sealing down. Combat rate and 10th on the mediums. We want to stay with the soft runners, try to keep the DRS, and try to make the most of his mediums while he still has them.
Skins right on the gearbox of this Toro Rosso, right through 130R.
And hassling him since the hairpin. And look at this on the outside. And it looks like, unless he can get the crisscross, which he does, that would have been amazing. But good driving with both of them there, as at least it's the fastest lap. DRS is online now. For back, looks like there's a Haas. That's Sexa, or CK80 on Sexa. AFR, and he gets it done. Nice and easy. I just got the best camera angle of the first curve there, so that was awesome. But anyway, lap 3:27. Some people breaking. Oh, that's Ali! He spun around on Dunlop. And that looked like it was just of his own accord.
Oh,
and
no.
he has to wait for everybody to go by.
He has to wait. Oh, no. He's really going to need a safety car now.
I don't think... He hasn't got damage. He's fine.
Yeah, those tyres won't be faring too well.
At least this wasn't in the hands of somebody else. As we see the Williams spin, and now Ali spins because of his tyres. Oh, no. Havoc continues to reign in the back as Red Panda and Big Al and Skins all benefit, moving up a spot. Hobbs into 6th now as well. That brings Psycho into the points as well as Williams gets a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, he's struggling with those overheated tyres now.
Just needs to take a bit of time to let them cool down. And the safety car will not be impossible around here. There's some pretty tight battling going on.
We did have a safety car in Tier 1 as well.
Sure, and combat rate on the mediums is right on Specs on the soft tyre. Gets it done on the straight. So combat rate showing some pace on those mediums.
CK as well, doing not so bad. Almost as if he's had a lesson.
You could be a bit nicer. Not so bad.
No. Oh, no. If he watches the stream back, he'll understand.
Yeah, looks like Ali did spin after clicking the curve. That's exactly it.
So Big Al's dropped out of that 1 second gap that he needs to get DRS.
Just caught another yellow flag. That is Farmer Dingo around on Dunlop as well. That can catch out a few drivers catching the inside curb. You can lose the rear that way. And we've seen it claim a couple of victims already today. Yes, so people dropping out of DRS. Big L, obviously. Matt's dropped out from Simdog, who's pulling away. Panda's just holding on to Matt. And let's not forget the championship implications with Ali being down out of the points right now and Matt being in second. Those two are very, very close in the championship and have been for some time now.
Ooh, Red Panda missing out on DRS as well.
So the only real one is Skins, really in the top 5, but he's not close enough to make a move.
Too far back. We'll drop down to Psycho. He's right behind Saxa, but not close enough at the moment.
Saxa's been dropping back a bit. I wondered if he had damage or anything, but he's totally fine, so just a lack of race pace, it seems. He's got to hang in there for now, though. Get to the medium still. We'll try find a rhythm for the time being. It's a nice wee tasty battle for 7th as Farmadingo gets the 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that's not what you want.
No. Definitely not.
Well, on the bright side, at least you could call it inconsequential, but still.
Got a nice little train here. Psycho, Saxa, Combat, and CK.
Things are looking up for the Racing Point boys, has to be said. Skins up into 5th. Combat Rat making a few spots on the mediums. At that. As these cars burn fuel, when he goes onto the soft tyre, he will be a lot quicker than the medium lane, so he'll be pretty worn out by then almost. We have a lot of pace compared to those guys, but those mediums are pretty quick as the fuel burns out as well, so interesting to see how he compares to everybody else, assuming we stay under green flag conditions. Just see if anybody can make a move on each other here in this train. Combat Rat's looking for CK80, but I don't think it's going to happen. No. It's another yellow flag. That's a Ferrari, and that is Red Panda on the S's. And it looks like another spin. These kids let a lot of people go through, and he's in 10th now, and he's got those hot tyres. He's got to nurse them now.
I don't think he was really near anybody, so...
Ooh. No, and
I'm guessing he's just kind of made a mistake, which we all do.
especially on the S's around here, it's very easy to do. Catching on the curbs even a little bit can send you in a bit of a spin. He's just letting Zoot expire for 10th. He hasn't got damage. It's another good thing, at least. He can stay out.
Yeah, he's just aware he needs to try and cool those tyres.
Could even try an undercut to try and gain some time back if he so wanted, but Softs will be fine when he gets back around, so perhaps not worth it, but lap 6 to 27 now, coming into lap 7.
Combat closing up on CK.
Making himself known on the outside there, but
He's getting himself in prime position to make a move in this DRS zone. He's right behind him.
yeah, this is easy pickings. He hasn't got much DRS, but he's got enough to get the job done.
Oh, they're side by side heading down into turn 1.
So
no!
he's got a little weight on the brakes, and Red Panda's retired as well. And that's coming into the pits, and I feel like they may be rage quit-esque.
Still with 20 laps to go.
Not entirely sure. There could have been an incident coming in. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm just a little bit worried there because CK80 was a bit late on the brakes and looked like he was about to hit Combat Rat there, but
Yeah, he went a little bit wide into turn 1.
Combat might be on the podium because he's so high up on the meds. It depends on how he's able to use those softs towards the end, but he's showing some really good pace right now. But he's 5 seconds away from the next runner, Hobbsy. He doesn't have any DRS to latch on the people, which is what he's had for the last few laps.
Oh, Gordino. 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits.
So interestingly, all the front runners here have all sort of very tight and very close together pace-wise and quality. People sort of fanned out from each other in the race. And Surplus is retired, and that's also in the pits. Well, I was going to say, no races unsalvageable, but I mean... It was a bit disappointing as we come to lap 8 of 27, still 14 runners.
Yes, indeed, and we still have this train going.
It's the main battle right now on Con. It's able to make a little bit of a gap here, but not quite out the 1 second margin yet. Saxa on the charge now. Seems to have found a bit more of a rhythm.
Oh, and we have a Williams turnaround, and that is Zoot. Who was that? Coultino. Oh.
Yeah. So he'll be a lap, so he'll be ghosted, which is no big deal, but that is still sad to see.
And Psycho's off into the gravel. He got out of shape through the second Degner.
Oh no.
But no damage, keeps it clean. Yeah, you just got to keep those tyres cool.
Both Alphas in the points, good to see. Keep us still running on those mediums. And just looking up front, it looks like Matt's sort of eaten into Simdogger's margin a bit.
Yeah, he
about
has.
1.5.
Yeah, he's close. He's within DRS range now.
No damage on Simdogger, so not too sure what's happening there, but...
Maybe a little bit of a moment. But he's let him into the DRS zone. So... there goes that lead that he's worked away at. And there's a big lock-up from the Red Bull.
And he's caught up so much because Simdogger was just using no ARS down that straight. Both of them not running with too much left, to be honest.
Yeah, similar amount of battery.
CK with 3 seconds. And that was going through Degner corner there. And the Williams again. Oh no, what's happening there? Dear. Well, a race to forget for the Williams, I'd have to say. Focusing up front, looks like Combo Red has dropped DRS to Saxa, or was CK80, but Saxa's climbed up in the 7th.
Well,
so
he is looking pretty good, I will be honest. I mean, up into the 6th place on those mediums, I think someone was saying in the comments earlier, he's up pretty high on those tyres.
Yeah, he's still losing time though. He was 5 seconds behind Hobbs, now it's nearly 7.
So we see another lock-up from Matt.
CK80 on Saxa here, coming to 130 Is he going to do it? No, he backs off. Be pretty ballsy. I just saw the Williams once again spinning on the S's. Oh dear. CK to make a move on 6 now for 7th. This is a great battle between the two drivers. Goes, Saxon defends on the... Oh!
Pushing him right up against the wall.
All the time, you have to leave the space. Oh.
And he gets the move done to CK80. And he runs wide on the exit, letting the Ferrari back. Oh, what's going to happen? Oh.
There was a lot of understeer. I thought he might have lost an impact, but no, he's got no damage.
Just went in a little bit too hot.
Oh, and amongst all that,
Simdogger has pit.
Same for Ali. Although further down the order, but Simdogger the first of blank.
And he's already right behind CK. So is this gonna... this may hinder him in regards to getting away from Matt. If Matt pits.
Potentially, if he gets out of any of the turns, I suppose, but those softs are not going to be fresh, let's be real.
Goes around the outside of CK there.
Don't think CK would have been putting up too much of a fight.
No, you got to pick your battles. He'll be trying to just recharge his battery and stay in the detection zone. And look at him, he's already trying to make a move on this Ferrari.
Matter now coming to the pits as well.
Oh, they're side by side into the chicane.
Simdog come up compared to the Red Bull. I think he's got the gap. He does.
He does indeed.
So again, those softs may have just been a bit too far gone. So that traffic that Simdog did run into hasn't really held him up, which is good.
Yeah, he was on the front foot and got past him as quickly as he needed to. And safely, which is the most important thing.
Exactly. And this means anybody on the soft tyre that's still out on it, I think is going to start losing a fair bit of time now.
Yeah.
Looking at U-skins.
I'd just like to make a note at the moment.
Good stuff from there. And Red Panda in the chat, actually. Looks like he's had a bit of a technical issue. It's quite a shame, and yes, there was a lot of race to run, and I didn't believe he'd rage quit there, so very unfortunate to hear about that.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. But look at this train here. We've got again Big Al, Matt, CK, and Saxa. CK struggling to stay in touch with Saxa at the moment.
Oh,
as Big Al makes the move
on the
around.
side of 130 yard, he gets a time penalty.
But he gets a time penalty for his efforts.
And gets spun around as well. Does he get corrected? Yes, he does. Good boy, Matt. Good boy, Matt.
As CK and Saxa come into the pits. DRS battle down the main straight between the two Honda-powered cars.
Both with no damage. It's lucky.
Matt coming out on top at the moment.
Yeah, so I think it was Matt that broke too late going into the Casio triangle and bumped at Big Al and then made him spin, but then touched his front right to sort of straighten him up. So if that was intentional, I'm not sure, but good sportsmanship of sorts. As Ali said, to 131.6, the fastest lap down in 12th. Can still salvage some points here. And amongst all this, Skins did pit. He's come out of fifth.
I'm just going to drop down to Hobbsy, who's catching Keeper, who is yet to pit. And Simdog is already on the back of Combat.
Combat Red's going to be dropping down a fair bit once he does have to pit. Question is, when do you pull the trigger?
I don't think it'll be too far away.
It's true, but you don't want to be on softs as long as your teammate is, who was on there for 10 laps and sort of suffered as well, as he's made a mistake going to Casio Triangle.
So Hobbsy gets past Keeper with ease, but Keeper is going to have DRS. Simdogger gets past Combat into turn 1.
Then Combat spun.
Oh no!
He hasn't lost too much time.
Was there contact or was it just...
I only caught the back end of that, but there's no damage from either of them, so... I can't confirm that, but Combat Red's still away and running, only lost a few seconds. That will be annoying, but he needs to regain focus. Plenty of time to throw up arms after the race.
That's right.
So lap 13 to 27, just approaching the halfway point of the race. Everyone's sort of spread out. So still two people to pit, and it's Combat Rat and Keeper. They'll go down the order somewhat, but for now it's looking like Simdogger, our race leader, 3 seconds ahead of Matt. Big Alan third with 3 seconds hovering over him for trying to ballsy move through 130 yard. That was amazing. He has to go down to Skins in 5th, effectively 4th, behind his teammate yet to pit. Obviously, technically 5th, and Saxa would be in 6th. So,
and
as
Ali
it
just...
stands right...
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say Ali just getting the move there on Zood.
Free, and what I was just about to mention is, depending on how far back these medium runners go, Ali could be in the points, but those medium runners will be on fresh soft tyres, so still a fair bit to play out here, because Ali needs all the points he can get here.
We've just gone over halfway through this race. But Matt now has closed that gap from, what was it, 3.5, 4.5 seconds to, about 3 seconds now. So,
and Big Al's now on DRS as well. And it's the yellow flags, the one there is the Williams yet again.
oh no.
Thank God I'm not keeping count, but he didn't get damaged this time. That's good at least. That's good. He can stay out of this fights. Yeah, Big Al's caught right up on the mat here, so this battle wasn't over.
And that gap's now, well, still around the 2.7.
Does Big Al have a run here? Going into the front straight, DRS open. Make the things to the inside. I don't think he's going to be far up enough. Just stays with him for the time being. Big Al's got a lot of VRS compared to Matt, so I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time. So let's keep the pressure on him as Matt goes a little wide. I thought he was going to spin there for a second. And that gap is still diminishing between Simdoga and Matt right now. I think that may be due to Simdoga saving a bit of VRS. He is pretty low, but he's now down to... He's now around like half of... pretty much 50%.
Well, they can definitely see him.
Oh,
Big Al making for the move. Got very close to the edge of the grass there. Just stays on the track.
That was a good move there, actually, coming out of 200. That was good. Although the flip side is that Matt's going to have DRS going down the front straight. Big Al has to make 3 seconds on Matt, remember? Yeah, looks like Matt's too far away to do anything here. Hobbsy's now caught up on the combat red as well, still going around on those mediums.
I'd be pulling the pin now. I'd be pinning this lap if I was combat.
The softs do last 11 laps, but they will fall off pretty dramatically towards the end.
Yeah, but the guys that put on these mediums, they're going to also not be the greatest for pace either.
That's very true.
And the advantage you'll have, like, they've done, what, 4, 5, 6 laps on these mediums now?
They have Revo's opinion on it. Yeah, need to pit early here. Definitely agreeing with you there. So just looking at the intervals here, so Combat Red's got a pit. It looks like he's going to come out at around 11 for 12, so probably around towards Ali. Definitely behind Ali, I'd say near Zurdix. Keeper would be behind Zurdix for sure. Farmadingo and Williams are both a lap behind at this point.
Just watching Hobbsy as he's closing up to the back of Combat Rat.
In combat, does he pit?
I think he does. He does.
The softs got a bit longer than I originally said. But yes, that's the main idea, to manage the tyres at the end, because everybody else is going to be on those worn mediums as well. And Ali gets 5 seconds.
Ooh.
But that's it. Look at him on Psycho. No wonder. Nice and easy as you please. Where does Combat come out? Just in front of Zurdix. So a fair bit of clear area to try and make up on. Saxa is out. And he's spun around on the edge. It's coming out of the first curve. Does this trigger a safety car? As we said, Williams get a 5-second penalty as well. Doesn't look like
No
it's done
safety
anything.
car.
It's weird. It's the second time tonight we've had sort of a DNF and nothing really happening. Back in Tier 1, we had a Toro Rosso crash coming out of Spoon and nothing from that.
Just like to point out, Big Al now 1.1 seconds behind Simdogger.
Wow. So, I don't know if it's a setup thing or whatever, but Big Al is really eating into... Well, he was way quicker than Matt. He's broken DRS to him. He's just under 31 flat, and he's coming up to DRS and Simdogger. For some reason, his race pace is just way stronger than everybody else's right now. Keeper comes in for fresh softs as well, so everybody can go to the end from here. So, lap 18, Simdogger's still the race leader, but still has to fend off Big Al, who's quickly chasing. 2 seconds back to Matt. Remember, Big Al's got 3 seconds for a 3-second time penalty as well. Have to go back another 6 seconds to Skins and 4th and Hobbs in 5th. 5 seconds back. And then CK80 and 6th and Ali in 7th. Good to see him making back up the spots.
Hello, Arcadia, is it? Not sure how to pronounce that, sorry.
Good effort, man, good effort. Ali right on CK now. Ali's got 5 seconds hanging over and that's going to be frustrating, but he needs to make the time up.
We'll drop down to Ali. It's Big Al. Oh, Ali already having a look. Going around the outside, which turns to the inside line.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Good move there from Ali into 6th.
Good driving from both of them.
The concern for Ali here is actually the 2 soft runners, to be honest.
Yeah, well, combat is really moving now.
As it stands, just need to change my timing, but with his 5-second penalty, Ali will only finish 9th, which is a big difference compared to 6th in terms of points.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We've still got 8 laps to go.
And Combat Ray gets it done with Psycho, that's very easily done. And yeah, there's a lot of great clean racing tonight to see in the chat, definitely. It's been awesome, actually. Big Al half a second away from the leader now. Doesn't seem to have had a chance to make a move. He's within DRS range. Speaking of DRS range, Conrad's already within range of CK80. Big Al's right on.
Oh, he got very close to the back of Simdogger there.
Doesn't want to compromise his exit coming out. I don't think he's close enough. He's gonna.
Oh, he might be. He's put it into overtake.
Oh,
he's going for it.
He's got a good run.
Simdogger goes for the defensive line. They're side by side. And oh, jeez! It looked like Big Al got out of shape there, but he holds it and gets the move done.
And Big Al has to make 3 seconds here. He's a 3-second penalty hanging over it.
Well, he's got 7 laps to do it.
I've got pins somewhere either. CK80 has a 3 second. Big Al has 3 seconds, as mentioned. Ali has a 5. And it's all the relevant drivers. Rest is from the Williams. So Simdogger, Matt, Skins, Hobbsy, no pins. Same for Combat Rat.
Simdogger really pushing to make sure he doesn't lose the DRS advantage.
But look at the ERS between the two. Big Al 60%, Simdogger 20%.
Well, he's just pushing this lap to make sure that he gets it.
He's got no choice here. Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to fall back into the clutches of Matt.
Sector 2 yellow flag. That is an alpha of the hairpin, and that is Psycho.
Oh no!
He hasn't lost any spots from that, I think, but could make him vulnerable to Sudix. Unsure. Question mark, question mark. Like 21 to 27. Sindog is still right on Big Al. Matt's 2.2 seconds away now. Big Al would theoretically drop him to third if the race would end right now.
Light saying turn 1 into USA will be interesting as it's a hot spot for dive bombing. Well, interestingly enough, what I've noticed in our league races is there's more incidents coming out of the exit of turn 1 than dive bombing. So, yeah, it will be interesting nonetheless.
You can still definitely dive bomb down there, that's for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do prefer getting that inside line and just hugging that, so doesn't matter what happens on the outside. What?
Keeper's off.
Oh no!
I was just watching him, and then he was on the track, and then he was just off, like he just lagged off for some reason.
Oh, Simdogger! Oh, is he gonna get DRS? Is he gonna be within the 1 second? He's right on the edge.
I think he dropped off.
No, he did get it. He did get it.
That's very close.
And he is pushing because he knows he can't let this go.
He has to, not just because of the fact that he'll fall away from Al, but because he might fall to Matt, who's also catching it. But they're all within a 3-second gap, so Big Al can drop down the third and Simdogger can still win this race. But for the next 5 laps he has to stay off from DRS, and we have a yellow flag. That is a Williams yet again.
Matt doesn't have any penalties, does he?
No, he doesn't. And he's gone off. He holds it though. He's just lost a few tenths there. Just ran wide going into Dunlop. He's lost a good second there. Oof.
Ooh, Simdogger, he's lost 4 tenths, half a second now.
So what I was saying earlier about Big Al dropping down the third, that won't happen now. It looks like at least if Matt can't catch back up. Ali's worked into 6, but he's got 5 seconds. He's got to make 5 seconds on combat. He's on softs. And this yellow flag, that'll be due to the Williams still struggling through the track right now.
So Ali's made up about 4 seconds so far on Hobbsy, I think. There's about 18 seconds the gap before.
He's really using his DRS, and Hobbsy's got a lot saved up as well, actually. Well, a fair bit at least. But interesting to see how that gap will change. The more interesting one is Simdogger is now nearly 2 seconds behind Big Al. Big Al's going to make another second on him.
And Matt is losing time to Simdogger, 4.3.
Did he take any damage? I'm just double checking now. No, he didn't.
He is constantly bleeding time.
I don't think he's going to lose anything at this point. Just bring it home, I suppose. It's 4 seconds back. It's a big ask in 4 laps. He could be saving Aris. That is true as well. And Simdogger's been pretty much running on, well, not fumes, but he's been running it down quite a lot this whole race. It's one of the things he did mention coming into the race, actually, is ERS management. It's very hard for him to manage in Russia because he just always was using it because he was always racing people.
Well, yeah, ERS in general is just difficult. So bring on 2020, please.
Exactly. If you don't know, auto ERS will be a thing in 2020, so we're very looking forward to that. Let's be real. Big out serious pace in practice. Yes, indeed. I don't think I was there personally, but
I mean, did I not say that Big Al had some potential in the race pace?
Oh, you did actually. Yes,
I did. I mean, I probably shouldn't have reset that until after the race, but it's done now.
No, you've
Let's move on.
acknowledged it. It's going to make it worse.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, so yeah.
Panda versus T2 driver? Yes, but he's retired 5 times this season. And I think this is his 6th one.
And both Ferraris out of Japan.
Oh, that's a shame.
They must have been talking to Bonotto.
This is the strategy. We retire. It's mean. No, that is very unfortunate, although again, Red Panda got some technical issues in sec, so just losing it out of the first curve. Yeah. Like 24-27. Big Al's still trying to find that time, needs 3 seconds. Everybody else is sort of spread out, settled into a groove, just bringing it home at this point. Combat Rat's not making any more time on those soft tyres. There's a yellow flag, that's the Williams again.
I'm sure Sim Dogger would be aware that he's got that penalty as well, hence why he's trying so hard to stay within that 3 seconds.
Indeed, I'm surprised Big Al isn't using more actually to try and stay ahead.
Well, he might be trying to save it for a final push at the end.
True.
Because when you do turn everything up to max, you do go substantially quicker. When you use it all in conjunction with each other.
Yeah. Fair call, but he is maintaining the gap as we see the Williams retiring. It's at 200R. I'm just seeing if he crashed. It looks like he has, just on the outside of 200R.
Lap 25 of 27 now. So
did pretty well. I'll try to stick with it, but unfortunate. But the real talking point right now is, can Sim Dogger keep that 3 second gap?
Because yeah, all the other gaps have kind of blown out, which is we haven't seen that for a while actually, I must admit.
Yeah, it's always been pretty close actually. It's always been some sort of battle. No. Big Al's now got a good 50% saved up.
Yeah, I think at the start of next lap, maybe even the final lap, he'll put the hammer down. He only needs to gain, what, 7 tenths?
Still needs to keep his rhythm, still needs to drive well though. Still needs to keep it flawless, which he has done, which is good. And you can see he has turned it up, because look at that, 2.5 seconds now already. Nah, that even just for the straight. Just quickly backing into overtake, there's no reason not to when he got that much ARS. And good points actually for Renault, actually, 2nd and 5th respectively.
Yes. Much needed points for the Renault team.
And Ali clawing back into 6th. He's safe from combat in terms of pens. So it's a good recovery drive there. He's got some points. He'll lose the lead of the champs. Actually, is he in the lead? I can't remember. No, he isn't, but he'll lose a bit of that gap to him. That's Renault that's stopped on the S's, and that is Hobbsy.
No.
Does Ali catch him?
He does, and he goes past.
But that may be inconsequential. Ali has 5 seconds.
Yeah, but there's a lap and a bit to go. And Ali was already closing down Hobbsy before that, so...
Hobbsy needs to get together, that's true. He could
I
have
mean,
been
but
tied
then
as
again,
well.
you know, 3 seconds in, a lap and a bit.
If Hobbsy's tyres were overheated, you could probably argue, but looks like he's doing fine, so... The real big story here. Big Al chucking it up into overtake for the last lap. Here it's Suzuka. And Simdogger, when Hobbsy gets 3 seconds, and that pretty much seals it. Farmadingo retires. That's on Dunlop.
Oh no, he's so close to the end. Oh.
I think he'll still get counted.
Yeah, he will.
Because he was a letdown.
So, Big Al. Yeah, he's leaving it in medium. No, high.
Yeah, I normally leave it in high there as well. after the hairpin, he can probably just leave it on a hot lap or overtake down the straight.
The gap's out to 3.3.
Yeah, that's right. Big Al's still going to bring it home. That is very true. Revo saying in the chat. He doesn't need to push too hard. He's got that gap now.
You'll still be feeling the pressure. As you always get that, nervous little feeling when you're in the lead last lap.
Look at that gap between Ellie and Hobbsy. That is now 5 seconds.
Whoa!
Wow. So I'm not sure what happened there, but what we said wouldn't happen, or what was going to be very unlikely to happen, has happened.
So Big Al coming around the final corner now. Crosses the line, takes the win, followed by Simdogger, who's just going to miss out, 1.3 seconds off, followed by Matt in third. So 2 Honda-powered cars on the podium. We've got Skins just missing out on the podium.
Solid drive, though.
Yes, very much so.
And now Ali.
Yeah, good recovery drive from him.
Could have called it. Now Hobbsy. Yep, there's Ellie with the 5 seconds. Inconsequential. Now does Hobbsy stay here to combat? Looks like he will, because he has 3 seconds, remember?
He does. Combat comes across the line, and just 9/10 between them.
CK80 also for pin, but not too far.
Well,
Psycho won't get him here, so CK with 8th.
Yep, good result for him. Yep. Psycho comes across the line in 9th.
Good points there.
Yep. Followed by Zudix. And then last but not least, Keeper. And not last, but the last of the finishers. Light, I'm not too sure what a good time is around Coda. Revo would probably be the best one to ask.
We'll find out more throughout the week, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Big Al with a pretty good win there. Good points. So close that gap between him and the Red Bull drivers.
So Toro Rosso, Red Bull, and Renault. What? The most unlikely podium of 2019?
And Simdogger for the second in a row. Good finish there.
Yeah, yep, very much indeed. So Big Al taking the penalty with the 3-second time penalty, followed by Simdogger and Matt taking that final podium place. Following that, we have Skins, Ali, Hobbsy, Combat, CK80, Psycho, and Zudix getting the final point, and Keeper the last of the finishers. Farmer did go crashing out on, I believe, the second last lap, so very unlucky there in 12th, so he will be classified as finished. Then the DNFs were Coordino, Saxa, Surplus, and unfortunately Red Panda having some technical issues with his pedals, which meant that he crashed out.
Or couldn't race.
Yeah.
He did pull into the pits, but yeah, very unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all we've got for tonight. We'll be back on, so yeah, I think that's 8:30 Friday night Melbourne time. So make sure you join us for that. And then our next Sunday's race is at USA. So that'll be 7:15 on Sunday. I hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that follow button or subscribe. I've been Bandcamp, and joining me tonight was Jacob Meister. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.